put this darkness behind us. And underground is my oration, sound integration. But situation is we're surrounded by light negation. It's black as pitch cause we're trapped by our violent souls. In a deep mind where deep rhymes won't keep my self-control. Too many foes, we feel snake bit and we won't take it. Enemies need their face hit, we going ape shit. Hell is my confinement within this mind.
Here are listening live to the Dukect Lounge. Phone number to call in the show, as always, is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number to call in to talk to me, Duke CT, is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Duke CT, is 92417. And that is the way to call to connect to me, Duke CT. And once again, the call ID is 92417. Leave it here in the chat room. Also, we got another person in the chat room. Thank you so much for joining me at Duke CT Live here on the Duke CT Lounge. Detenshi, cool YouTuber, just recently discovered his YouTube channel. Very good and interesting review of Sonic 2006. Very good stuff. And dude is really actually very talented. So, like I said, check out Detenshi Reinhardt. Check out his review. Good dude, man. Check him out. Okay. Now let's get this party started. And let's see. SummerSlam. Oh, not SummerSlam. That was like months ago. Who cares about that? Survivor Series, ladies and gentlemen. Survivor Series is over. Oh, boy. And, a show that has been, in a word, disappointing, doesn't even quite cover it, because how can you really be disappointing when you expect the show to suck and it does that? Here's it is to me amazing how bad the show was. I only caught a couple of pieces. I caught the horrible, Survivor Series Divas match. And plus, it was pretty bad. The only thing positive was AJ, getting a pinfall and then, getting a victory, but, not getting the victories. Again, having Total Divas win. Of course, having Natalya getting the tap out. Then the next night, you have, Total Divas winning again because, who cares about the Divas Championship, right? Even though that big little promo AJ Lee did, remember that? Remember that great promo AJ Lee did? Wow, that was a great promo. That was a really good promo, huh? But yet, doesn't lead to anything, does it? Did it lead to anything? No. All it led to was AJ Lee holding the belt and being completely relegated to background noise. Seriously, AJ Lee has become background noise. She doesn't really do anything. And it's a shame because even though I don't like AJ Lee, I know I don't like her. She's just, But she has her fans. She has her fans. She has a lot of people who support and like her. So, yeah, I can see why a lot of people like her as a wrestler and such. But anyway, getting on to basically the other stuff was the Punk and Bryan versus Harper and Rowan. That was an okay match. To me, I still think one of the best tag. To me, it's not even close to top 10 tag matches of all time. Because trust me, I've seen a hell of a lot better tag team matches, especially on Survivor Series, where they have basically the whole thing is elimination tag matches. As a tag match, it's like it's the greatest tag match ever. No, it isn't. But it was good for what it was, and Punk and Bryan won the day. It was nice. But everything else, you had Mark Henry versus Ryback. I didn't care for it. I didn't care for, again, and I didn't really care for John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio. yeah, no one cares about that. And let's be really completely real here. Randy Orton versus Big Show was a complete disaster. I watched that main event match, and God help me, geez Louise, it was probably one of the worst main event matches I've seen from that company in quite a long while. I mean, I watched it on YouTube, and I'm like, dear Lord, this is terrible. This is by far one of the worst matches Randy Orton and Big Show had, because it was funny, because they had a really good, I think it was a hardcore match, last person standing match, I think, for the at Extreme Rules, but it had no disqualification match. It was a very good match, and this match was terrible. I mean, it felt short. It was short. It was very, very, just honestly dull. And I think both of those two guys could just have done better. And we've seen them do better. We've seen them do better. And here's the worst thing is about the finish of the match. And believe me, it was dumb all around. You have Big Show knocking out Randy Orton and dragging him in, and then you have the Authority come out. You know, Triple H, Stephanie, and Kane, you know, come out. Don't do anything. Just stand on the ramp. And Big Show just looks out there like, duh, duh, duh. And then basically just, I know, most people know it's fake, but it was so bad that it's just like, yeah, I was just waiting for Randy Orton to get up and finally hit the RKO. I was like, come on. It just like, it dragged so long. It made a bad match even worse. And then you had Randy Orton hitting the RKO. And then Randy Orton hit the pun on the Big Show, which, by the way, missed completely. I mean, wow. I mean, geez Louise. I mean, that was a terrible-looking spot. And they have Randy Orton win, and they're like, yeah, the Triple H is clapping. And then, you know, they have John Cena come out, pose, and folks were holding the World Heavyweight Championship, and Randy Orton holding the WWE Championship as the preview ended 20 minutes early. Oh, yeah, I guarantee you people weren't liking that so far. And, well, again, and I say this again, how is this going to bring Dan Bryan over? I'm going to say, oh, Randy Orton's going to win the Undisputed Championship, and he'll do this, he'll do that. No. I mean, I'm done with the storyline and everything else. I'm done. I mean, I don't care about Randy Orton. I don't care. I mean, Randy Orton at this point has become so bland and lifeless. And now, on top of that, we get to have Cena and Orton again. Yay! Oh, God, that feud. You know, remember back in 2009 when Randy Orton could have been a big star and then Triple H Triple H and the powers that be completely squashed that? Remember that? And that completely horrible WrestleMania 25 main event? Now, everyone remembers The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, but no one remembers what came after it. It was actually pretty sad because that WrestleMania 25, you know, that honestly at that point the World Heavyweight title should have been the main event of the show because at least that had passion. It had some actually type of drive to it. That match, I don't know what the hell I was watching. Seriously, I don't know what the hell I was watching. WrestleMania, that one match was just, they started with their finishing moves early, and then they just farted around for 20, 30 minutes, and that was it. I'm sorry. It was just terrible. And it made even worse the fact that there was no run-in. It was a regular straight-up match that if Triple H got off the deep end, guess what? He would lose his championship, which is stupid. Why not they have a no disqualification match and have all these run-ins? Everyone was expecting a run-in. And so maybe it was trying to swerve everybody. Oh, you swerved? Oh, that was brilliant. Yeah, people were expecting to have some craziness, but except the craziness would get something dull, pointless, and boring. Brilliant. Brilliant, WWE. And now we're going the same thing again. Oh, people are saying just wait and see. Yes, how many times we've seen this little picture of wait and see and all that good stuff. And how many names and people, how many times have we seen this company have this whole thing, fans of this company. Fans. And I think at this point, I already talked about this, and I don't want to be victim shaming. Everything else, people saying, if you enjoy, you should not watch this if you don't enjoy. That's what it is. If you don't enjoy something, don't watch it. And I'm not going to tell people what to enjoy and not enjoy. I don't want to do that. I know I criticize, but I say this. In any type of form of entertainment, if you like any type of thing, if you like it, if you love it, fine. Have at it. Have fun. But this, to me, is just so... This thing really bothers me. That in WWE, this huge company, this company that could actually be something, could actually get really good entertaining stories, really good stuff. And they have a bit crust of that. Instead, they go with the bland. They turn something interesting and turn it to bland, mediocre crap that no one wants to watch, and only the sycophants do. And honestly, I'm not going to convince those guys. They already love the WWE regardless. But I'm going to talk to the people who actually do watch this stuff and who do watch this, who do watch and just continually watch, bitch on the internet, and continue watching. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to. I don't want to be someone who tells you, but dear God, why are you still watching it if it's not entertaining you? I'm serious. Why? And I'm like, I put myself in this pool because like I say, I do watch bits and pieces, and I hear the same stuff and look at the same things over and over again. It's like, it's the same type of stuff over, and it's like, take it back to the Sonic franchise, like the Sonic cycle used to have, that little screenshot of the Sonic cycle would say that, Sonic, he's finally getting back in the source, finally getting everything else. Then you have next screenshot. You have friends are back and everything else, and it looks good, all that type of stuff. The friends are back. Oh, God, first Sonic was alone doing all this crazy stuff. Like all the trailers. Then you have all his friends come back, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Big the Cat, this, that, Shadow, Rouge, that alligator guy. Basically going out there just doing the same thing. It's like, okay, maybe this will be good. And then when the game's released, oh God, it's completely terrible. And the cycle continues again with a new screenshot, and it keeps going into a loop. So yeah, this is the same thing with this. It's the same thing with this WWE. We get excited for some indie or / underused talent getting the main event picture. Then it starts getting into these little. They start actually adding into like older talents or what have you, saying, okay, the story's still good. So Bengal, the story is good. But by the end of it, the young main event talent that was supposed to be featured is supposed to be actually main event, something that is actually supposed to be that main event star gets relegated to the back end of the line, even though he's won the championship, but, won the title or what have you, but he's still relegated to the back of the line, completely forgotten about. And you have everyone else. The major players still are the most important people in the story. They're big people. That new young up and coming guy is relegated and forgotten about, while the main event players still have their spots. And the people who want new and want change, well, you don't get it. You just get mediocrity. That's what you get. That's what it is. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to take a little break. I'll be right back right after this. I'm going to get into more of some interesting WWE news. We'll be right back right after this here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you for joining me, Dukect, live on TalkShoe.com. Thank you so much for joining me, Dukect, live here on the Dukect Lounge. Be right back. are back alive here on the Dukect Lounge. Your phone number to connect to me, Dukect, is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. Well, it's been interesting. And also, here's some interesting news, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of old people coming back, old veterans, guess who made an interesting statement? Bill Goldberg. Remember him? Yeah, the man, WCW was the only major guy they pushed, and WWE made the push, and he had, with him, did the undisputed streak there. And then you had Goldberg, fight Brock Lesnar and WrestleMania 20 in that horrifying match. Yeah, the WWE wants him back. But in fact, this was reported. Bill Goldberg was at the C4 Comic-Con in Winnipeg about 4 weeks ago, and he was asked about WrestleMania, and he was totally upfront about it. And supposedly, and I quote, he said that Triple H has called him and they've talked, but there's no deal in place. He said he's open to come back and would like his son, who wasn't born when he was active in pro wrestling, to see him wrestle once. But he would only do it for the right price. He said that he would never call them to ask to come back. He said the ball is in their court, and they know what they have to do to get him. From the other side, I was told the financial demands are very significant. The point where it had to be WrestleMania. He said the timing of the DVD release was calculated as the company's plan was to build interest and that dropping his name or the Ryback matches when they did, they were all planned. The company, exactly, yeah. He said that they are, don't be surprised by that. He believes that, but I truly do that too. But maybe it's because of Ryback actually trying to be Goldberg light, when he was actually dominant last year. Why the hell did WWE just clearly screw up Ryback? I don't know. Someone tell me in the comments. Give me a good reason. Can you give me a good reason why Ryback was completely embarrassed? Completely utterly embarrassed, and no one really. I mean, let's be honest. I just don't know why Ryback was completely destroyed. I don't know why. But anyway, Goldberg says, he said that they are trying to get fans to pressure on him to come back for the quote-unquote pop. But he said he doesn't care about that. If they want him, they know what he wants, and they have his number. And he said the WWE did try to push him on think of the pop you get, Laura, but said from his point of view, they're barking at the wrong tree when it comes to negotiating tactics. So, yeah, he's in it for the money, and I have no problem with that. I mean, it's a fun job, but it's still a job. And wrestling is a very, very, very difficult business to get into. It's a very hard business to get into. And people mock Goldberg, they mock the Ultimate Warrior and all this stuff. But yet, let's be real. More often than not, when you look at these professional wrestlers, who truly do it for love of the business are the ones who are the most screwed up. You look at Jake the Snake Roberts. You have Scott Hall. I mean, those guys are getting better. You have guys like Dynamite Kid and other these people who Ric Flair. I mean, Hulk Hogan. I mean, guys who's had love of this also had the money too, but they're cleaned out. They got no money left. The guys like, say, the Ultimate Warrior and Goldberg, and they all of them, those two guys who got bitched out by fans and everything else, those guys are probably one of the most, sanest, and actually, I don't agree with most of the opinions, like, say, Ultimate Warrior, Jim Hellwig. I don't agree with him 90% of the time, but dude seems to have his head on straight. Dude seems to have his head on straight. He doesn't do anything else. He's not really an alcoholic. He doesn't do all this type of stuff. He's not, all this type of things. It looks like he has his head on straight shoulders. Goldberg. You see, he has a family. He has a lot more money. all this money. But yeah, I'm happy for someone like say Goldberg. Hey, get that money, man, and and maybe have a chance to get that pop or something like that. Just hey, and him. And the only reason why this thing could work, and the only thing it could do it, and I think it's only reason that it can work and it could work is because, well, is that that at the end of the day it's his body and his body and all the injuries and stuff. He got out ahead smart. I mean, he got out, he did what he had to do, got his money, and he left. He wasn't a technical genius, but damn it, he knew what he had to do. And that sort of thing. Exactly. And here's the real hypocrisy of this by the WWE. The WWE makes fun of people who like say AJ Lee or all those other guys who are belt marks, and like say, oh, you really do care about the business, just nickel and laugh, but yet they say this like, oh, think about the pop you get, think about the pop and all this type of stuff you get, basically playing up in that BS that they truly don't care about and everything else, but yet they peeled that up to Goldberg. Yet this way, someone like say Zack Ryder's or the AJ Lee's and such, they actually care. You know what? I wish more wrestlers did have that mindset. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like it's more. I think that's probably a smarter mindset, not for just say the business, but for themselves. I mean, this is like I said before, this is a very nasty and very difficult business to break into, and sometimes you need to have that cold heart on you. It is, and now I'm hopeful that maybe, it'd be nice that actually WWE maybe, hey, you know what? It's nice seeing the WWE and the end of the stick when they screw around people, and now they're like, oh, we need you to get everything else. And at the end of the day, he's not, you know what? At the end of the day, and he's not. Exactly. At the end of the day, he is in control of his destiny. In the end of the day, he got his, and that's smart. And you know what? Yeah. Anyway, that's just my little rant here on the WWE. And man, that's not much to talk about actually. Not much on video game news, unless you want me to bitch about the Xbox One and PS4 again. But I don't want to do that because, well, I don't want to be, going on that type of tangent. And I'll probably get more video game news next week or what have you. Because next week, ladies and gentlemen, is December. You know what that means? December is Red Ribbon Reviews, and I will be putting a red ribbon on my Dukect Lounge podcast every podcast, including the reviews I'm going to be doing as well for the highlight and awareness of HIV and AIDS. And if you do share the videos and do all that type of stuff, because they are getting ready for it, I can't wait for it. I'm going to be working on my reviews this weekend, and I'm going to be working on them, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy them, my reviews and all that good stuff for Red Ribbon Reviewers. And after that, it's MadFest time, baby. And also some very interesting stuff that's coming down the pike, and I am going to be it's going to be really fun the next couple of weeks. I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to be a part of it. It's going to be a very fun month. In 2014, it's going to be even better. All right, thank you so much for listening to me, Dukect here on the Dukect Lounge. We'll be back next week, same Duke time, same Duke channel. And in my YouTube channel, Blip, Screw Attack, and whatever this place, I can find a way to put this stuff on. Thank you so much for listening to me, Dukect here on the Dukect Lounge. Dukect here. Peace and love. I'll see y'all when I see y'all later.